Stand right in the center, okay? So, you know, I'm here with Chief Etheridge, I think Lieutenant Governor Mallott's here too. So one of the things we do as the fire department or police department is we often get to witness very, very brave acts. And so we think about bravery in a way sometimes a little different than other people. And I think what occurred the other day, when we think about bravery, we think about doing something at the risk of your own safety that's scary to do, and yet you overcome that and you just do what's right. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the heroic brave act, and we're going to get a couple presentations. Now there'll be some more formal stuff that comes later on. We have a formal award process at the Juneau Police Department, so a whole committee will review what took place. You can think of it kind of the military when they do their citations, like the Medal of Honor. You have a whole committee that looks at it and does investigations, and so we will do that. And so there's probably more awards coming because it truly was a great act. But we just wanted to get as close to the actual occurrence as possible to recognize the great thing that occurred. So on March 29th at about 18:20 hours, which is 6:20 for those that don't work on a 24-hour clock, the communications center was called and reported a 5-year-old boy, Mason. Is Mason here? There's Mason right there. Hi, Mason. That Mason had fallen into Gold Creek at Cove Park. It was later learned that 14-year-old Riley, jumped into the creek, risking his own life to save Mason. Riley was able to grab the boy and extricate both of them from the creek. He had no prior relationship with the young boy and just did what came natural to him and jumped in to save his life. And just, you know, Gold Creek is fast, and we've had several fatalities over there over the last 20 years, so that was an incredibly heroic thing to do. I'd like to turn the time over now to Lieutenant Governor Mallott, who I think has a presentation.
Thank you, Chief. Let's stand right here. There's some folks very important to you are standing right here. First of all, as Lieutenant Governor, I'd like to thank those in uniform who are here. Those who, if they were at the site, would not get a citation. They'd be doing their jobs. They would have leaped in, done whatever was necessary, and we expect that of you, and you give of yourself every single day, recognizing that reality is part of your job. And from everyone I know in this room, in Juneau, throughout the state, we thank you for that. There is also a young boy who will, with his mother and family, at one point in their life or another, look back at that moment and say, but for Riley, our lives may have been very different. And there is a young man who has a wonderful life to look forward to. So I'll take the spotlight off of him, but I think you all know what is meant. And when Governor Walker and I learned of the story, we just said, we have to thank that young man. We have to do what we can appropriately to recognize the valor, the courage, the instinct, and we can say instinct, but it's more than that. It's a value. It's a sense of the purpose of an individual life that in a moment that you would never think you would be in, that you would not contemplate beforehand what your reaction might be, because you really can't. You might from time to time have a vision of yourself as Superman or something, but you know that that's a game. But what Riley showed in that moment was the one thing that we, as family, as community, as human beings, never discuss, never say to our family, children, because we don't want them in harm's way. We never say, son or daughter, we want you to perform an act of selfless courage that might put you in harm's way. And somehow it was there in this young man. And for that we thank you. We're so proud. And Governor Walker and I want to give you this commendation to reflect our pride. And I thank you for what you've done. Thank you.
I'll be brief. My name's Richard Etheridge. I'm the fire chief, and two gentlemen that were responding to the scene. We've got Captain Jenkins and Marcus Kinneman, one of our firefighter EMTs. They were there to help out, to take care of you guys. But you know, heroism and bravery is in every person. But you know, you had the opportunity to demonstrate that. The situation was there, and you chose to get involved when other people may have just looked away and said, "That's not my problem." But we want to issue you one of our fire department challenge coins, and thank you for choosing to get involved and make a difference in someone's life. So, thank you very much.
And this was so fast, we really didn't come up with a script. Usually when we're doing these things, we script them out and we pretty formal. So I won't pre-plan this, but I see Beth Walden here. Would you mind coming up for a minute? So I might get in trouble for this, or we'll see how it goes. I said and talked quite a bit. I'm happy to do that. So if you'd like to present.